Hi and welcome back to my channel Enchanted Divination, where I do tarot and oracle card readings. Hi and welcome back to my channel Enchanted Divination. My name is Autumn, and on this channel I like to focus on tarot and oracle card readings that are timeless. So a timeless reading means that whenever this reading comes across you, whether this video has been posted days, weeks, months, or even a year plus after it has been uploaded, that is when it is meant to reach you. So that's what it means to have a timeless reading. So whenever it comes across you at whatever time of your path, that's when it's meant to come across you. And wherever there may be any messages that resonate with you, those would be messages for you. All right, so today we're going to be focusing on an important message time has for you. So we're going to tap in and see what important messages are here for you to receive at this time. And let's just jump right into it. Okay, so I always like to begin my readings with a little bit of sound healing. So I have my singing bowl here, and I like to use that to kind of clear out the energy, cleanse our energy as well, our space, and to cleanse your energy as well. So if you want to take this time to clear out your energy with me, I would suggest maybe just turning down your volume first in case it is a little bit loud. I'm just going to use the bowl for about 30 seconds to a minute, and we'll get into the reading right after that. So let's get started. Let's get right into your reading. I feel like that sound was very high-pitched and strong. Sometimes I like to listen to just all the little details that happen within the reading. And I don't know, I just look at all aspects of what's going on around the reading, any feelings that I might just have, the way the world and like the environment kind of reacts around it as well. So I don't know, I kind of look into all the signs like that. I'm just gonna pull there. And if you're returning to my channel, welcome. And if you're new, of course, welcome to you too. Thank you for all of your support and good vibes. That is always appreciated. So I'm glad to have you all here. And again, today's focus is going to be on an important message that is to reach you at this time. So we're going to see what that messages will be. Today I'm going to start off with my numerology deck to kick off this reading, and we're going to see what kind of themes can we expect with this important message. What are the themes of this important message you are expecting to receive soon? Cut the deck. Okay. What are some themes of this important message for you. I seen that during one of my last shuffles before I cut the deck, and I just saw it, didn't think anything of it, but I don't know, something about that card really caught my eye. One more, please. One more card. All right. That was meant for us. So, yes, I'm getting definitely like orange, red kind of vibes here. So, your base and your sacral chakra. I like to look at the colors of the cards. I like to work with all aspects of the cards, whether that is the colors that come up, numbers, of course, just intuitive messages that may come up. Also, just what is depicted on the card can also change the meaning depending on like what I'm looking for. But let's just get right into this though. As I was saying, with this double orange here, I feel that, and then this red Merkaba, I definitely got a sense of more stability, you just being more steady, more solid, being more intuitive, and just you, since you are being more intuitive, following what your heart is feeling, also just maybe some intuitive messages that are coming through to you. It's helping you just improve your life in different ways. Wherever you start to feel like those intuitive nudges come up, this may be in regards to health, or maybe you need to scale back in some way. We're gonna go into this a little bit further with some tarot cards so we can clarify. But I think this is a really interesting combination because I just see you getting stable, not just in terms of like your finances, but I see lots of like spiritual stability as well. Stability when it comes to your sense of self, trusting yourself. I was also picking up that maybe for some of you that you are more on the up and up when it comes to your finances. Maybe you've been experiencing some scarcity, or just because of the high cost of everything and inflation right now, maybe you just had to cut back and save a little bit more, or maybe you've just been a little bit more fearful of like what's to come, or maybe you've just been feeling like you just don't have enough. When you're able to manage this far, so you have something to show for it. But I know sometimes it can feel a little bit disappointing when you aren't managing, but then you just feel so depleted at the end, or maybe your bank account or your finances may not reflect in the same kind of work that you're exerting. But since there's so many different things that we have to take care of, bills, if you have children, a home, rent, a mortgage, there's so many different factors. So apply that where that is applicable to you. But I ultimately just seeing you become a lot more stable with yourself, and that can go in many different factors depending on what you're experiencing at this time. But I see you just really following your nudges, really listening to yourself, and allowing, like that phrase, Jesus take the wheel. Like you're just letting the universe just come into play, and you're just like, I'm just going to follow, what feels right for me right now. Maybe you've had to feel like you have to scale back a little bit. If you use like recreationally, as far as like cannabis or something like that, or with this green, it made me just kind of think too, maybe you feel like you've been spending a little bit too much. So you've been really cracking down on your finances and seeing like, okay, what is my income? what is the money that's coming in that I'm receiving, and how much am I spending? So you're really getting honest with yourself about your finances as well for some of you. This also can be, since we have green, this also resonates with the heart chakra. So maybe you've been dating and seeing different people, and maybe it just hasn't worked out as you expected, or you've been dating and maybe it has gone okay, but maybe you feel like there's still something missing there, or ultimately you're just like, you know, that was fun and all, like that was a cool little era, but I'm just gonna kind of focus on myself right now. And that can be in regards to your health for some of you, your mental, your spiritual health. That can be your financial health. So health can be applied to many different ways. Again, so just apply the messages and the cards and the kind of the key points where you feel it is applicable for you again. But I see you just getting more honest too with your health, recognizing where you can have some improvements, scale back, work a little bit harder at. So we're going to dive in and get some clarifying cards on these, because these are some really interesting topics and highlights for an important message that has to come to you at this time. Lots of different messages here, but just pulling and reiterating the ones that are more prevalent to me. And again, like you, I'm just trying to follow my intuition and let you know what I'm feeling. All right, so I'm curious to see what the bottom of the deck is. We have Laker Colors, number 93, Happy Ending. Ooh, I love that. All right, so let's get into the tarot. Okay. I'm thinking psychic tarot deck. And then maybe I'll clarify with the original, the OG, but we'll see. I'm gonna just move that right there. We're gonna focus on number 22 right now, intuition. So, just gonna give this a good shuffle. And then we'll go one section at a time, clarify each section, boom, see what messages come up there. And we will pull some oracles, maybe a affirmation, just to see further advice on what's to come with these messages. So once we get there, we will intuitively choose what I feel would be the right advice messages deck to use. Okay. How you doing? Y'all doing good out there? Let me know. I want to know. Because maybe you write something and somebody else resonates with it. And it's good for people to know, like, you know, they're not the only ones experiencing some things. There's like-minded people out here that, even complete strangers, we just want the best for each other and for the world. So don't be afraid to, you know, write a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Maybe someone else feels the same or has some encouraging words for you. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, just gonna give that one more shuffle. Okay, we're gonna see why intuition is here for you. Why is intuition number 22 here for an important message? Oh, wow. I mean, I saw it when I was shuffling and I was going to say something, but I'm like, no, because if it's going to come out, it will come out. And boom, there it is. We have number 1, base chakra. And that's something that I definitely saw you working on right now, is your sense of stability, security, becoming more grounded. And interesting as well, material harvest. So like I was mentioning earlier, like I was mentioning earlier, for some of you, you may be focusing on your finances, just getting a lot more honest with your spending habits. Or maybe you've just been waiting for an opportunity to come in for you, where maybe you've just been like hoping, just making amends, trying to make ends meet as much as you can. And I think finally the energy and the work that you're putting out there is finally becoming more recognized. Maybe you will get some kind of promotion. Maybe you'll switch directions as far as your career, and it becomes more profitable, more fruitful for you. We're going to go in a little bit more and clarify. I also had foundation and achievements. And I think I mentioned that earlier too, where maybe you're just focusing on all your finances again, and maybe you want to build a family in the future if you don't have a family already. And you're just making sure like your family will be taken care of, you can live comfortably, you have a secure area that you live in, your home is secure, you trust your neighbors, you just feel grounded and solid wherever, if you may move, or if you're still waiting for this energy to come in, that you will have a solid foundation when it comes to the home. And or that the work that you're doing is helping you achieve that. If that's something that you do desire, that you're going to have the entire picture. I think this is like almost, I was going to say it, and it's because that's why happy ending came to mind, because it was right here. So foundations and achievement kind of shows me that you will receive that happy ending that you desire. Let's go in a little bit further, see what else is there for us. But this is definitely right on par to what I was feeling already with the numerology cards. We have transformation, and next to that was trapped in fear. And I think that's the perfect combo to kind of what I was already saying again, was because I see you really making a change for yourself. And I think the messages that was kind of coming up with the moderation card, it makes sense that you are making those important changes, and it's serving as a catalyst for transformation for you. And again, that, you know, with all the things going on in the world, and maybe the things that you've been experiencing, this could be in regards to your health, your mental health, or maybe just any doubts or fears that you may be experiencing. Maybe you feel like, oh, my dreams feel like they are so far out of reach, when that is completely untrue. You just really have to trust yourself more, because you do have everything that it takes to manifest that for yourself. But I think it requires a certain amount of change, maybe in regards to your health, maybe some kind of moderation. And I think those cards are there for a reason, and that's why we gonna clarify them. But there is something here that is holding you back, and I see that, or like a block, but I see that maybe as maybe you are getting in your own way of letting that happen. I'm going to pull one more card, but I feel like this section is pretty clear and to the point. It's like I want to pull it, but I'm going to see if it's going to come out on its own. Yeah, I feel like it just came out anyway. Right, exactly. Prosperity begins, stand your ground. Wow, I love that, because again, it's just reaffirming that you just have to water yourself a little bit right now to take care of yourself, to tend to your garden, to tend to your needs, to tend to maybe those parts of yourself you kind of just let go wayside, or you have just maybe haven't been taking the proper time to manage or really look back and reflect how it's impacting maybe your health, your finances, your material gains, your mental health. I believe that the message here is to water yourself. Plant your seed and water it and watch it grow. Because you have lots of opportunity here. There's an opportunity for change that will create a domino effect for you in the future, where it's going to open you up to more financial possibilities, possibly starting a home and love as well, and also just personal transformation as well. But I think in order to kind of get the ball rolling in that regard, I think you have to stand up to yourself in a way. I think it's also interesting too that it's stand your ground, where this section, like I was mentioning, there's a lot of base chakra, or it says base, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I know that's the proper way to say it, but there's your roots. There we go. Oh my gosh, I could not say that. Oh, side note, because now that I said root, how the roots are in this ground here, and there's this like how the roots are right here and they're planted down into the earth, where there's like this seed or this pod. And it's funny that I couldn't think of the word root for root chakra or base chakra, when that's exactly what is going on here in this card. Is this peach tree is firmly rooted into the ground. It's being tended to, it's being watered, it's being cared for. And I think that's exactly what this card is asking you to do, is stand your ground when it comes to yourself, becoming more rooted, implementing those changes where you just been kind of letting things just happen, or you just been letting it go in the background without really listening, tending to it. So this card is definitely asking you to stand up to yourself, stand your ground, be honest, and take some time to reflect and look at your situation for what it is. Wow, I just want to say thank you to Spirit for that, because that put it perfectly. let's move on to health. I'm very curious to see what it's going to come out to for these rest of these cards now. So why is health here for an important message time has for you? I see the heart chakra card, and that's exactly what I was mentioning earlier. We have truth, and then boom, we have 420 again together. So if you feel like 420 usage is impacting your health to where maybe you're a bit more stagnant. I just had this conversation with someone the other day where they were telling me that they want to manage or begin changing the way they recreationally use because it's just making them more groggy, they're not productive, and it's just basically it's negatively impacting them. When there's nothing wrong with recreational use, whether you have health issues or not. You know, it all begins with your mindset. And, you know, I'm not here promoting anything. Like, you know, if you're of age 18 and over and that's you choose to, you know, to do, that's your life. I'm not here to judge, and I'm definitely not here trying to encourage anybody. But I just have to say what's here because it's definitely here. And it came up right here and it's here again. So maybe, and then this doesn't always have to just be in regards to 420. This can be anything that you are consuming that you feel like it's hindering some part of your growth, your health, anything like that. And there is some level of truth that you need to have, and just having that conversation with yourself can be difficult. It can be hard to tell yourself, you know, I've kind of been using this as a crutch and it's not serving me any good. Or, you know, you may enjoy indulging. This doesn't have to be, again, with any type of usage. This can be, you know, internet, things that you search on the internet. This can be in regards to your diet, especially with health here. So anything that has to do that is impacting your health in some kind of way. I think there is a level of truth looking in your heart and really feeling like, okay, like, yeah, this is going on. Maybe there are all types of people around you that do something, and maybe it's just like, yeah, that was your thing maybe at one point in your life, but you're starting to grow up, you're maturing, and you're seeing like, you know, that's not really for me anymore. Or you're just really changing your perspective on, you know, maybe I just need to cut back and, you know, indulge. This can be drinking as well. Maybe I can enjoy drinking only in the evenings, X amount of times, you know, a week, a month. Apply that where it's applicable for you, please. But there is definitely something here that is impacting your health that you're being honest about, that you're really starting to have that conversation with yourself and you want to make change. And obstacles and challenges, because yes, it is so challenging to implement change into your life. It doesn't matter what kind of change that may be. So don't expect it to just be like a cold turkey overnight. It will take you maybe a little bit of time. Give yourself, I don't really like to give time frames for anything, but just give yourself, because I see quite often 4 and 5 right now that are coming up. So give yourself like 4 to 5 maybe weeks, 4 to 5 months in order to start seeing major change, where you're like, you look back, you're like, wow, like this has happened much quicker than you expected, where, you know, these days, these months let alone these years have just been flying by. So give yourself grace when it comes to making these changes, because it's not going to be like an overnight switch and it's all fixed and it's all better. So give yourself grace, be vulnerable, be honest with yourself. And I definitely see you doing that. And I think also too that sometimes we begin to indulge in certain foods, activities, because we want to feel a little bit better despite of what's maybe going on in our lives. Maybe you have like physical health issues to where maybe you can't enjoy and do those things anymore, and you're finding it a little bit difficult to manage. So just again, give yourself grace, because managing those kind of changes are not always easy in the beginning, okay? Wow. I also have one, 2, 3 times. Love begins. Beautiful. And I think it's interesting that we have this bowl or this cup here that's pouring down into this stream. It's so pretty. I love this card. It kind of, oh my gosh. You see what I'm seeing here? And then, oh, okay, I'm gonna go back to that in a second. But do you see what I'm seeing? Look how like in this one, the trees are bare. And I was asking you to water yourself. That's exactly what's happening here. This water is being used. And your tree is slowly bearing fruit. The animals are even attracted to it. So one interesting, see, that's why I was saying earlier that I look at even at the photos to what is depicted on the cards, because if I look at the literal meaning of this card, I'll just be like, okay, yeah, love, but I more so see this, and then they're both number ones. Oh my gosh, it just keeps the affirmation and being affirmed right here is just so real. It's crazy. So this again is just reaffirming for us to please water yourself, because you are to bear abundance, your tree, yourself just growing, being more fulfilled. I think again that goes into like the material harvest, because he has, you know, that fruit there. I'm not gonna say it's a peach, because to me these are peaches, but here this is an apple, but we're gonna say it's a peach, okay? So again, that message of just watering yourself is coming back through for you. And then we have that double rainbow, 2 rainbows. So maybe you identify as like a rainbow child, or maybe you have like a rainbow baby, or maybe you just identify as LGBTQ. So those are messages again that's just coming through that I have to just say, because they're just prominent, and I gotta let y'all know all the messages I'm feeling and seeing, okay? Big heart chakra, green energy here. This is an opportunity of love, of self-love, just really taking care of yourself. So pretty. Oh, also too, that it's interesting that even though it's like you're being watered, then it grows, that this one is like way more like green in the back, so luscious. And I kind of see this as like your outside, or like your outer work, the outward energy that you have to put in to produce this. So I see this more so as like you internally, you inside. And then on the outside, Look how green and abundant it's going to be. Just so beautiful. The rainbows is popping. Oh, I love this. One more to clear this section out. But again, messages just very straightforward right here. I seen this card when I was shuffling too, but you know, I just took note of it. We have crown chakra with recognition and reward, number 7 and number 3. And I think these two cards are definitely a good match. I think these cards are definitely a good match with one another because it's so interesting how there's this light being illuminated. Let me get the focus on. There we go. There's that light being illuminated right on top of their head here. And that's exactly what the crown chakra is. Your crown chakra would basically be at the top of your head here. And that's what's being illuminated. So I see you being rewarded through spiritual gains. Again, I think I had said that earlier, where maybe you are going to be promoted in some way. Maybe in regards to a company or job that you're already at. Maybe you change jobs and you just begin to get paid more. Or you just take a new direction in life, in your career. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur and you're like, I'm just going to focus on this right now. And you just become, you know, affluent, and then you recognize your work is being recognized. Maybe you just start gaining more traction in that regard. But yes, definitely like spiritual gains happening here. There's a shift. There's definitely a shift being made here. And it's through you being honest with yourself, going through, you know, your list and practicing your faith, however that may be for you. Just looking at things for what they are. You're going through those challenges, but you know, it's challenging because there's so much bigger and brighter to come out from the other side there. I mean, that was perfectly put. Thank you again for that, Spirit. We're going to move on to this last section here. Just moderation. I'm super curious to see what's going to come up. We have 3 chakra cards, our crown and our base, which is so interesting because it's like you're getting more aligned with, you know, your 2 chakras that are like at the base, you know, your crown, which is at the top of your head, and your base, which is at your lower body. So I think that's pretty interesting too. Okay, so why is moderation here for an important message for you? And I figured one more would come out. We have solar plexus. That's 2 3s. Yes, 2 3s. What else? Interesting. Temptation is here. I'm like just realizing. Oh my god. Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. It just, the message is just so clear. Like, so clear to the point. Thank you, Spirit, because it's just, it's so direct. This message is very, very direct. So you'll know, you know, wherever the messages apply to you, you're gonna know. And again, you have this moderation card because I feel that maybe something is blocking you from taking action in something, being more motivated. The solar plexus is like your driving force, your almost like your energy conductor in a way. I like to think of the solar plexus, solar is associated with the sun. So I automatically always see the sun connected with the solar plexus, and I feel that the sun and the solar plexus almost kind of have similar characteristics in a way. So yes, moderation is here with solar plexus. We also have temptation, which has already been a major theme on this reading so far. And we also have shadow, which is the moon card in the tarot deck, and temptation is the devil card in the tarot deck. So if you want to make the correlation, kind of see how the characteristics kind of merge with the rest of the reading, I always like to mention it in case maybe you're more familiar with the OG tarot deck. I always like to say like what are the equivalents in case you are interested. So again, super interesting combination because temptation is here, and as well as shadow. So there is some like deep, some conscious reevaluating going on here, and this was already covered with the truth and heart card here, heart, and we have truth, which is the judgment card in the tarot deck. But yes, you're really doing heavy self-reflecting. Maybe there has just been emotions that have been pushed down for so long, so you're going like deep into your psyche, into your emotional state with shadow here. So again, this is just letting me know that if there are any fear-based action being taken or coping mechanisms that you're doing, it just goes hand in hand with this moderation card, because maybe you are doing something that is suppressing what you feel, suppressing what the true maybe like issue or resolution that may be there, or just unraveling something here that you've needed to tend to for a while, or even let go, revisit. And it's like, wow, it's like saying your actions are a direct result to those things. So there's a level of needing to go within, but that was already notated and mentioned previously. But there is another mention of temptation, needing to scale back, and it maybe being a little bit challenging. It may cause you to really look at yourself, see things for what they are. Just having that level of truth with yourself, which can be challenging sometimes. It's not always an easy road, being honest with yourself in that kind of way. So very interesting reading. I'm going to go in and clarify a little bit more to see what last message we have here. But again, I already said it, and sorry if I sound like a record, but this reading is just like very to the point, very direct. Another 4, we have discontent and boredom. And I think that, you know, whatever you've been kind of experiencing already is causing you to be a little bit more disconnected. And if you are you know, using anything recreationally. I think I mentioned this in another video where it kind of just, again, suppresses what's going on in your feelings rather than the feelings being experienced or felt. So it's being used as a sense of escapism for some. This can be in regards to drinking. Again, this can be, you know, relationships, being with people. This can be shopping for some. So that's why it's important to apply the messages, because I can say something and, you know, I can be, oh, it's shopping. But, you know, for someone else, it may not be that. But everyone kind of uses different things as a sense of escapism. This can also just be TV even. So, you know, that's why it's important to find the messages where it resonates with you. But I think here it's just letting me know again that there is some sense of escapism where you just rather be a little bit disconnected, but your higher self, the universe, wants you to be more connected so you can understand the feelings that you feel, so you don't have to be hindered any further. Can I get one more to clear out or to finish off this section here? Movement, choices, decisions. Wow. I mean, just perfectly put once again, because there is movement going on here. You have a choice, and now it's all about you deciding. You can continue to operate in one way, but if you feel like ultimately it's not for the betterment of your health, you know, you'll continue to go down that cycle and to experience those things. And it might become a little bit more challenging to change. But again, I just am seeing you as you self-reflecting, really truly looking into your deeper parts of yourself. You're looking into those deeper parts of yourself, and you're going to continue in a way that you want to change. You don't want to feel, maybe for some, sad or disconnected, or you feel like you have this crutch, you know, whatever it may be for you. But I see you wanting to change, and you're going to be presented with different opportunities, different paths, directions you can take. So that's why it is important to be connected with yourself, be more aligned, so you can make the proper decisions, and you're following your intuition, and by doing so you're going to be led exactly where you need to. So you have different opportunities, different choices that are going to be presented to you. So look within your heart, feel what really truly feels correct and right for you. I think that will close it for the tarot. That was a beautiful reading. I love that. I am going to pull an affirmation for you, and I think I want to do an animal spirit. I might do earth magic to finish it off, but we shall see. We shall see. But for sure, we're going to work with some affirmations that we can work with on a daily, because I see this more so as like, this is going to take a little bit of time, so don't feel a little bit fearful, because I know, like, once we hear be patient or it takes time, we're like, oh God, like, oh no. But I see this, or the message that I'm getting is more so just having more grace with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. You know, you're doing the best that you can with your circumstances and your experiences. So give yourself some grace. Okay. Let's see what affirmation we have to close out this reading. I am happy. And we'll pull one more. Okay, thank you. I'll uncover it afterward. And this affirmation you could work with daily, or if you just want to write it down and kind of come back to it whenever you see fit, you can always do that too. We have number 21. I am happy. I take control of my happiness. When my happiness depends on others' actions, I am at the mercy of things I cannot control. Instead, I choose to cultivate consistent happiness by focusing on the things I love about myself. I am happy. I love that. I am grateful. Probably one of my favorite affirmations. I am grateful. Number 15. I realize that what is right about my life outnumbers what I perceive to be wrong about my life. I choose to focus on what makes me feel good. I am grateful. Wow. I put that perfectly. I mean, it just all kind of just circles back to exactly what we were discussing. That you're working with exactly what you got, and that's okay. You can choose to be better if you want, or if you want to improve, there's something that you desire, you can. So I think I am grateful kind of serves as a reminder that you will get to your goal, but remember to be grateful in this present moment too. And I think I am happy kind of is the perfect affirmation to work with in that kind of regard, because you're focusing on, like I said, I take control of my happiness. When you depend on other people's happiness or what they desire, you kind of lose sight of your desires and what makes you happy. I choose to cultivate consistent happiness by focusing on things I love about myself. That is a direct advice and guidance to begin that pursuit of happiness and becoming more grateful of the present moment. Okay, we're going to pick an animal spirit, and then we'll close out this reading after. There we go, thank you. And then I'm gonna read it. Wow! I'm like blown away because I've never seen this card in this deck. And I just read personal choice and I'm just like, oh my god, like that. I love it. It is the perfect ending to this reading. It says personal choice. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. What? I freaking love that, because there is like no affirmation or message from a specific animal. You can literally choose like, what do you resonate with at this time? It says close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? So this almost serves as a way to tap in and use and utilize your intuition at this time, you know, with this reading. Oh my gosh, I'm like, I love this. So this would be a perfect time to tap in into your intuition and, you know, make that choice and discern what do you feel, and that'll kind of be a way for you to start using your intuition. So take this time and use this activity as a way to use your intuition. Whatever animal comes up first, try not to overcomplicate it in your mind. Just follow what you feel. See what animal comes up for you, and maybe look into the spiritual characteristics of that animal. Even if you don't want to do that, just see the animal for what it is, and, you know, what is the animal like? How do they navigate life? Things like that. What wisdom do they share? And embracing those qualities. Yee! I love that. That was like the perfect way to end this reading, and I couldn't be any happier. So if you also enjoyed this reading, I would love to know. If you did enjoy this reading, I would super appreciate it if you could like this video and leave a comment where maybe a resonant and if you did like this video, let me know in the comments where a message did resonate for you. I would love to know, because I really enjoyed doing this reading for you today. And if you want to catch my next upload, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can be notified by clicking the bell, and you'll know when my next upload is made. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I will catch you in the next video.